So who doesn't enjoy a good compliment? In this video, I'm bringing you the 10 fragrances that I've worn this autumn that have garnered me the most attention. Some are cheap, some are expensive, but every time I've worn these, I've gotten some real positive results. So stay tuned. So the first one I've actually worn twice so far this fall, and from what I can recall, I got like 3 compliments out of it. Not anything mind-blowing, but hey, every compliment counts, especially when you're wearing Mercedes-Benz Intense. The similar scent to Dior Fahrenheit, maybe Aqua Fahrenheit. I haven't smelled Aqua Fahrenheit, so I can't confirm that, but I've definitely smelled Fahrenheit many, many, many times. And this is pretty accurate. A bit more toned down, still performs very well. Anywhere from 8 to 10 hour fragrance. I get about 9-ish on my skin. Projects surprisingly heavy, and it's very cheap. $35 or less will get you a 120 milliliter bottle like this. Different places online, FragranceNet, FragranceX, different sellers on eBay. Very easy to find, very overlooked. Not a lot of people really talk about this one. This is kind of in that, almost in that hidden gem territory. It's great for the fall season. It's right in that sweet spot where it's a little bit heavier of a wear. That's not really the best for the super high heat, but once it starts to cool off a little bit, it shines in the fall, and that's when I like to wear it. Fall, winter, early spring, slightly cooler months, into the cold. Just does really well. It performs, smells great, garners me some positive attention, and that is Mercedes-Benz Intense. This one never fails me. The little over handful of times I've worn it, always get some sort of attention. Never negative either. Always something positive. Ooh, that smells different. That's usually what I get because it's apple brandy, a little grapish type of smell. You may know where I'm going with this from Happy Land Studio. It's El Gudo, my favorite release in recent memory from Happy Land. I love this stuff. It is fan-damn-tastic. This is a great fragrance. Performer. Everything from Happy Land performs. That big massive spray is still floating in the air. Grapes, apple, brandy. It's the every time I talk about it, that's what I say, because that's what it smells like to me. It does get a little bit smokier and woodier in the dry down, but in the opening, it's definitely fruity, boozy, sweet. Beautiful fragrance. EJ did such a great job with this one. This is pretty much my favorite Happy Land fragrance. There's some new things bubbling in the works that I'm not at liberty to talk about yet, but be on the lookout. Speaking of Happy Land Studios, some really good stuff cooking up in the lab. It's coming very, very soon. May even top this one, and this is definitely my favorite, and that's Happy Land El Gudo. So if you like bubblegummy sweet scents and Broxton heavy type stuff, you'll like this. It's loud. You're gonna garner some attention. Mostly positive. Some people will say, wow, that's too strong. I do get that occasionally from my wife when I wear this one, because it's definitely strong. Cool Water Intense. These are hitting all over the place once again, because there was a stretch at the beginning of the year where it was kind of hard to find them, but they're back around all over the place on different sellers from eBay and stuff like that. Oh man, it's so good. 30 bucks will get you a 125 milliliter bottle, full presentation, and it's worth it. Smells absolutely nothing like the namesake on the bottle. It does not smell like Davidoff. Cool Water is a different fragrance in itself. This is piggybacking off the namesake by just adding Intense, because this is a totally different DNA. This is an Invictus meets Dior Homme ambery type of mashup. Doesn't smell like everything else, but then again, it kind of smells like everything else. No, that doesn't make a lot of sense. I understand. We're here. I get it. But you have to smell it to understand where I'm coming from. You do get a little bit of the coconut and the amber, because it's only 3 notes listed, but it gives a bubblegum smell and with a lot of ambroxan. It's really what it smells like. Bubblegum, amber, and ambroxan. But it's powerful. It smells really good for most. Garners me a lot of good attention. Cool Water Intense. I've actually pulled this one more out in autumn and fall season than I did in the summer, because it's actually marketed as a summer fragrance. It's Paco Rabanne Invictus. My favorite. Love me some Invictus. I've worn this twice in the fall so far, and everywhere I went, because I made sure it was days that I had stuff to do. I was going out and about. It's a loud fragrance. Why waste a loud fragrance just sitting around the house? That's how I really feel about it. And definitely got a few compliments. I actually went to Marshall's that day. We had some grocery shopping to do. And I want to say the last time I wore it, I got 4 compliments, if I remember correctly. Counting my wife as one of them. So 3 from random people and 1 from my wife. But just on the last wearing, and then I forgot what it was the time before. But I mean, I can't remember the last time I wore Invictus and didn't get a compliment from somebody at some point, because it lasts all freaking day. It's powerful. People are gonna smell you. At least that's the case for me. It's my favorite fragrance. Puts me in a good mood. Paco Rabanne, Invictus. Actually gonna be busting this bad boy out here in the coming days, because it's been a few weeks since I've worn it last. I like to wear this one to run errands and stuff like that, especially in the evenings. And, like, you won't see it as a scent of the day if it's something that's kind of an in-between scent from what I wore all day to what I'm wearing out the shower. This kind of falls into that sometimes. One of my favorites, Zaharoff, Signature Pour Homme. This one always garners some sort of positive attention for me. I love this stuff. If you like lavender, barbershop style fragrances, you'll like this. A lot more character than your average barbershop scent. When those of us that talk about this on YouTube say barbershop, we don't just mean lavender, citrus, maybe a little mint, oak moss, and musk and woods. So much more than that. This has a lot of resinous warmth from the myrrh. There's a little bit of oud in there. There's a beautiful frankincense note. There's some cardamom with a little touch of iris, a beautiful creamy sandalwood in here. There's a lot of nuances to this fragrance. It's very nuanced. It's got a lot of character. It changes steadily throughout its lifespan. It's a beautiful fragrance. I don't talk about this one a lot just to do it. I just love this fragrance. It's very good. Makes me very happy when I wear it. It's a decent performer on my skin. It's just great and garners me some positive attention just about every time I wear it. Zaharoff, Signature Pour Homme. From the very first time I smelled this fragrance, I was extremely impressed. Dare I say floored by the quality of this smell. It's so pure and clean for being a boozy tobacco fragrance. I still can't believe it's so pure and clean for boozy tobacco fragrance. When I say this, some of you know which fragrance I'm talking about, because this is how I usually describe Argos, Triumph of Bacchus. This is a magical elixir. This stuff is incredible. It's ridiculously powerful as well. This is an all day and then some spray, and it is very, very loud. Nothing faint, fleeting, or soft about Triumph of Bacchus. This is a stellar, outstanding boozy tobacco fragrance. It really is. There's no smokiness. There's no dark dirtiness in the dry down. There's no heavy patchouli that's just taking over in the mid. It's just beautiful, clean. It's just a sweet tobacco aroma. This is so well done. I can't say enough about the Rum Absolute in here. The Rum Absolute is what I really think adds that purity. Obviously the quality of the ingredients is going to do it, but there's a lot of boozy sweet tobacco fragrances out there. There is. Hell, this kind of has a similar vibe in the opening to Mancera Red Tobacco, but that's much dirtier. It's got incense and oud. It's its own thing. This is so much cleaner, so much more classy and sophisticated. It's just, man, it's just next level. This smell is next level. I've noticed there's a lot of people on social media have been talking about this lately, and for good reason. It deserves all of the praise it's getting, guys. I understand it's not cheap to buy, but you need to do yourself a favor and get a sample. They offer carded samples. You need to try this fragrance. This is stellar. This is a stunner. It works like a charm. It's Argos, Triumph of Bacchus. You know, for as much as I like Spicebomb Extreme and the newest release, Night Vision Eau de Parfum, I've worn this more than both of those, probably combined. This is another one kind of like Zaharoff's, kind of that in-between during the day when I got to run somewhere. My scent of the day is kind of fading off, and I just want to, instead of refreshing with that, I want to mix it up. This has kind of been for that for me, and it always garners me some attention. It's the original Spicebomb. You can see the dent that's getting in that bottle. Actually, I wear this one the most. I love the whole line. I do. Every Spicebomb fragrance is worth owning, in my opinion. They're all good. If there's a line to get all of them, this is one of those lines to get all of them. But I love spicy fragrances. The original, it's just a great fragrance. It's a compliment magnet. It pulls it in. It's a beautiful spicy aroma. It's got a strong mass appeal to it for not being an ambroxan-laden fragrance. It's spicy. It's sexy. Still got some pretty good staying power for all these multiple formulations that it's been through over the years, because it's not a new fragrance. It's been around since like 2010, if I remember correctly. Maybe a little sooner, maybe 2012, but you get it. It's around a decade old. It's been through a few formulas, a few different batch codes, but hell, still a 7 to 8 hour fragrance, and still projects very heavy in that first 2 hours for me, and always garners me positive attention. Don't sleep on this. Don't think because we all talk about Spicebomb Extreme and how wonderful it is that you need to overlook the original, because the original is the reason we have Spicebomb Extreme. This is the original DNA. This stuff works like gangbusters. Another one that it never fails. It helps that I love the way it smells. I mean, you're not going to wear something that you don't like the way it smells. If you wear something you don't like, I don't understand what you're doing with yourself. But I love this fragrance, and every time I wear it, I get some positive attention because it's powerful. From Samy Andrus Fragrances. Blue Sapphire, my little secret elixir that not everybody knows about. This stuff is so good. You can see the dent going in that one. I'd have some backup bottles of it as well. Don't ever want to run out of this stuff. So good. Really kind of a better version of Elysium, because you take away the fougere qualities, you take all the herbaceous notes away, you leave the citruses, the leather, and the wood. You get Blue Sapphire, and this is much more powerful. This performs like the Parfum, not the Parfum Cologne. And it's a citrus aromatic, versus that is an aromatic fougere. This is inspired by, not a clone of. Follow me? Inspired by, not a clone of. And it's a compliment machine. In my experience, I don't think it's happened. I'm trying to remember every time I wear it to keep in mind if I don't get some sort of comment about how I smell. I can't recall ever not getting some positive feedback from how I smell when I walk by somebody at some point during the day with Blue Sapphire on from Samy Andrus Fragrances. If you buy one fragrance from Samy Andrus, it needs to be Blue Sapphire. Stuff's incredible. I love it. Blue Sapphire. The crazy thing about this one is it's not even my favorite of the 3 versions of, well, it's actually 4 versions of it now with the cool spray, but I don't have that one. I have all the standard atomizing parfums. I have the Eau de Toilette, the Eau de Parfum, and the Parfum, and surprisingly, Dior Sauvage, the Eau de Toilette, is what I have been wearing the most. This seems to show up in a lot of weekly rotations over the last 2 months. Why I keep grabbing this one and not grabbing the EDP or the Parfum, I don't know. And I sprayed the Parfum a couple of times on my wrist recently. I have worn that, just not full wearings. This stuff just works. I think having it not in the box and sitting there with the right in front of the other 2 that are in their boxes, being an easier reach, just makes it easier to grab for, I guess. But I mean, does this need any introduction? Are you surprised this one gets me a lot of compliments? I mean, really. It's Dior Sauvage. It's what the hell it does. It's why people buy it, because it pulls compliments. It's versatile. It's an easy wear. It's an easy reach. As long as you like ambroxan. If some people are sensitive to ambroxan, it gives them migraines and they can't stand it. I get that. But for the most part, it's what you buy this fragrance for. Like I said before, easy to wear, extremely hyper versatile, pulls in compliments. Dior Sauvage EDT. This last one may surprise you. It is the cheapest fragrance on this list. It is my favorite cheap fragrance that I have picked up this year. It's a release from this year. Some of you know where I'm going. Abercrombie and Fitch, First Instinct, together. My favorite cheapie to come out this year. God, I love the way this one smells. And I wore it several weeks in a row. I mean, that's where that little dent may not look like much, but in a 50 ml for a guy with 500 plus fragrances, That's a pretty good dent in a fragrance I've had for about a month. Got a backup bottle of it and everything. And I saw it recently in the Marshall's video you guys saw yesterday. Don't need a third bottle. Two's plenty. 100 mLs is going to be plenty. Because these are 50 ml bottles that I have. And take Invictus Aqua, hence the color scheme on this bottle. Take Invictus Aqua 2018. Mix YSL EDT with it. And the original First Instinct DNA. Put the three together, swish them around, balance them just right, make a nice, cheap, synthetic, pleasing aroma. You have First Instinct together. The stuff's great. Is it long lasting? No. 50 ml, 20 bucks. 100 ml when you can find them, 25 or 30, I'm not sure. I haven't ran across a 100 ml yet. I just run across 50 mls. And they're 20 bucks at the rack stores, Marshalls, TJ Maxx, places like that. 5 hours is the longevity I get. 2 hours of very strong ambroxan-laden projection, because it smells like ambroxan. It smells like all three of those fragrances I mentioned combined. It's a compliment machine. It's youthful. It's playful. It's nothing serious. It's an easy wear, if you don't mind synthetic. It's pleasing synthetic, but it's definitely very synthetic, very cheap. But it'll pull you some compliments. One of my favorite pickups this year. Abercrombie & Fitch First Instinct together. Well guys, that's the 10 that I have worn in the autumn and fall season that have garnered me the most attention. I mean, this was no play-in favorites of, I just like wearing this one the most, and yeah, it tends to get me compliments. Let me put that in the video. Nope, this is legitimately what has garnered me the most attention. It knocked a few of my favorites off, because even though they traditionally do pretty well in compliments, they haven't been getting more attention than these 10 fragrances have in the last month and a half, 2 months or so. And until next time, do me a real quick favor, go ahead and like, comment, subscribe. I do appreciate all the feedback. I love hearing from you guys. How many of you have had similar success with any of these 10? Let me know down in the comments. And until next time, I will say, if you get your hands on any of these, you give them a spray now, you might end up thanking me later. Have a good one, guys.